Now Chapman, a hard ground ball to third. Scooped cleanly by Rivera. The low throw to first. It's off the glove of Mountcastle. It rolls into the coach's box. He races over to retrieve it. And after coming around third, Devers will stop and go back to third. A throwing error by Rivera, the third baseman.
Defensive team losing their concentration. It's everywhere. I mean, the throw from Beavers from left field it looked like he was in an egg throwing contest. That wasn't close. But what a heads-up play from Adames to score on that play.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Sports Phone KNBR with Bill Lasky. Well, the offense continues on this homestand as the Giants pound out 15 runs on 18 hits and no errors to get their sixth straight win in a row, as this 6 games started in Milwaukee, taking the last 2 games on Saturday and Sunday, and then coming home against the hot Chicago Cubs, and they beat them in 5-2 on Tuesday, 12-3 on Wednesday. Yesterday, a game-winning walk-off by Jung-Hoo Lee. They win 4-3, and the Giants' offense just took off, starting in the first inning, getting 4 runs on a walk, a base hit, a walk, a base hit, and a sac fly, and another base hit, and another base hit. It was awesome. It was just an awesome array of offense, and that's what we've been seeing on this whole homestand from the San Francisco Giants. And this is something that they got to continue to do. We've been waiting for this offense to wake up for months, and now they are on a 6-game win streak. A couple things negatively happened. Robbie Ray, a finger issue. You could tell it was hurting him all game. He just didn't look good. And when you start dissecting what he did, he threw 94 pitches but 64 fastballs. And as a pitcher, many years that I had, you cannot grip a good pitch with a finger issue, a blister or a cut. And you could tell that was bothering him. He could not get the curveball over. He couldn't get the changeup over. Even the slider was missing. And he struggled as he just tried to go fastball after fastball. He walked 3. All 3 of those scored. He just could not get any feel of the pitch, and he couldn't get the win. And it was a disaster for him as he only went 4 1/3 innings, giving up 6 earned runs on a day when the Giants got runs, and Robbie Ray, all those games, a couple 1-0 losses, just disheartening for this man to go out there with an injury on the finger, and it prevailed to him getting pushed out. We don't know the extent of it, but they said it was a trim. They trimmed the skin off of it, so it had to be a cut off the seam or something like that. And let's just hope it's not a blister where he'll have to sit out for a while for it to heal. But the bullpen came in after that and pitched well. Spencer Bivens gave him an inning and 2/3. Matt Gage gave him a full inning. And, of course, Keaton Wynn came up to clean it up. And he ended up giving a couple runs up with a home run ball. But everything was all offense tonight, as some of the stars are still continuing to hit. Luis Matos is just on a tear. 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, a home run in his last 8 games since he's been called up. How about these numbers, Giants fans? 13 for 30, 3 home runs, 3 doubles, 7 RBIs for the 23-year-old who is mounting attack. He is just dialed in at the plate. The new stance, staying back a little bit further, watching the ball in a little bit more, and he is just hitting the ball so good. Everything is just live off his bat, and that was just so nice to see out of him today, hitting his 8th home run in the 5th inning, as the Giants scored every inning except the 6th inning, and they still had 2 runners on base. Everybody got a hit in this lineup, which was really fascinating for a team that's been struggling to get runs and trying to get a team that's trying to build offense and score and try to do what they did today, add on each inning, and they did today with 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the 5th. How about that? That's just awesome right there when you start thinking numbers. And they didn't score in the 6th. They come back with 4 in the 7th with 3 errors by the Baltimore Orioles and 1 more in the 8th. So a fascinating game, and the Giants end up winning 15-8 against the Baltimore Orioles. Now they're 1 game under 500, 67 and 68, with 2 more on the homestand. And like we said, a 6-game win streak. They're 34-33 now at Oracle. They've hit 24 home runs, 24 home runs in 12 games, and that's just fascinating. I keep saying fascinating. That's the word I'm throwing out there tonight because I'm so excited about what I'm seeing with the offense, and let's just hope this can stay going and sustain this and continue to keep doing this, because this is what the Giants need to do if they're going to try to get back in this wild card. And people are saying no chance, no chance. Hey, you know what? They have a chance. They do have a chance. Until they're eliminated, they still have a chance. Sure, the numbers are against them. 27 games left. We know that. They got to face the Dodgers for 7 and Arizona for 6. But you know what? Let's ride the wave. I'll never forget Wade Boggs telling me one time, when I'm in a hitting streak, I ride the wave until the wave fails. And that's what I'm going to say to Giants fans. Let's ride this wave until it fails. And I don't want it to fail. Let's get it going and keep it going. Tomorrow's a big game for the San Francisco Giants. Trevor Rogers, the 20-year-old lefty, he is outstanding this year. He's 7-2 with a 1.4 earned run average. He's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 4 starts, and that's over 27 innings. He is on fire. 83 in the 3rd innings, 50 hits only. So they're going to have their left-hander back out there, and we know how the Giants do against the left-handers, 15-23. So that's going to be a big game, and Carson Seymour is going to get his first start tomorrow. So, you know what? We just keep playing. Let's just keep playing good baseball, and I think this team is doing that. Dominic Smith, how about that splash hit today? Home run ball, number 4 on the year, 107 splash hit home runs. Now, of course, the game was not on NBC Bay Area, so it was on Apple TV. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but it was so cool. When the 107 turned on the wall, the place erupted, and that's what Giants fans do. They want to see more splash hits, and Dominic Smith got one, his first one this year, hitting his 4th home run. But the Giants just played well. They hit the ball every inning, and those are key. Willie Adames, 4 for 6. Rafael Devers, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Matt Chapman, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Dominic Smith, 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. It just goes on and on, but I think the key hit and the key player tonight was Luis Matos, going 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs with a home run. The one play, the one hitter that I just think it was the key hit of this game came from the 9th hitter, Drew Gilbert. And that came in the 3rd inning. Luis Matos got a base hit, a ground ball. Patrick Bailey hit to second base, a runner on second base with 2 outs. And I just felt this was a good at-bat for him. Hit one off the wall for a double. He hit another one in left center field in the 8th inning for a double. 2 for 5 for this young man. And he's dialed in. I really think he's got some spunk. He's got some energy and a cannon for an arm. He's playing great outfield. So we'll see how much Drew Gilbert's going to do for this team. The 24-year-old right now goes 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Very impressive game by Drew Gilbert at the plate as well as in the outfield. And I thought that was just one of the cool at-bats for a young man coming up in that 3rd inning to get that hit. And the Orioles were mounting an attack. They had just scored 3 runs in the top of the 3rd. So adding on a run in the bottom just kept that momentum going for the San Francisco Giants. And they won a nice game today, 15-8 at Oracle Park on Orange Friday. Let's get the phone lines ringing. We're going to have a short show, no doubt. 415-808-KNBR. If you were at the game, give me your call, give me a holler. Tell me what you thought about this offensive bizarre game today. Boy, they just hit the ball hard today, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm sure Giants fans did too. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Bill Lasky. This is Sports Phone KNBR. More coming up right here on the Sports Leader.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
Two-strike pitch. Swing and a line drive, base hit left field. Coming around third. Here is Gilbert heading home, and a wild arcing throw to the Giants on deck circle. And now nobody's at the plate. Here comes the throw from second. Back to the plate. Not in time. And Willie Adames scores all the way from first base as the Orioles collapse defensively.
Back on Sports Phone KNBR on a Friday, just a great heads-up play right there as John Miller described it. Willie Adames all the way from first base, kept running an off throw from the left fielder, and nobody was covering home, and he slid in there to steal a run. In that inning, in the seventh inning, the Baltimore Orioles committed three errors they have. Now with the loss today, they're 60-75. And they're 1-8 in their last 9. So this team is definitely in the cellar. But tomorrow's going to be a tough game. Their best pitcher's on the mound, the left-hander Trevor Rogers. It will be a battle, Giants fans. This kid can throw. And he's come back and really, really shined this year. So we'll find out, no doubt. Carson Seymour on the hill and first pitch 4:15. That's going to be on Fox Sports. That's a Fox Sports game of the week. So we'll be able to watch it over there. And then tomorrow night, extra innings. I'll be right back on with the post-game show. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Let's go to John in South City. John, you're on an exciting Sports Phone Friday night as the Giants get 15 runs and 18 hits, an offense that just was exploding today.
Yeah, it was, Bill. And first of all, it's a great win, man. And the win streak keeps on going so far, Bill.
Yeah, 6 wins in a row, and it all started in Milwaukee, taking 2 from the top team and then 3 from Chicago, and now they just got to keep put the foot on the pedal and see if they can sweep the Baltimore Orioles. Tomorrow will be a tough game against Trevor Rogers.
Yeah, you mentioned about a lefty tomorrow, Bill. your goal is, again, got to be another lefty. You have to be another lefty tomorrow if you're the Giants. I mean,
somehow,
I think
some way, you got to
Bill.
score runs. If you can score some runs, and this team has been doing this whole homestand, it's like the domino theory. It's like what Bruce Bochy said: keep the line moving. Everybody contributed today with a hit, and I thought that was key when you looked at up and down when they score 18 hits with 2 home runs and a double. I mean, this was something that was meaningful. They kept pouring it on, and this is something that Giants fans needed to watch tonight.
Absolutely. Excuse me for that. Absolutely, Bill. And another thing is, I want to get. How about Luis Matos today? Have a day. What, 4 for 5 today, if I'm saying correctly?
Yeah. And his last 8 games, John, 13 for 30. How about that? His 8 games since he's been brought up, 13 for 30. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And I thought today that I think the whole team played pretty well today, Bill. To be honest, Robbie, did all right today. I mean, I thought the first thing, top of the first was like saying, oh no, I was like kind of concerned. I guess was the blister was bothering him or the fingernail.
Well, we don't know if it was a
him.
blister or a cut. And I was just talking to my producer Kyle, and we were talking about as a pitcher, the hardest thing, if there's a cut or a slice or anything raw on your finger, the hardest thing to do is throw a breaking ball. A fastball, you're just holding the seam and letting it go. And then when I broke up the game, when I went on Baseball Savant and saw how many fastballs he threw, 64 fastballs out of 94 pitches. That's not the Robbie Ray that usually dissects it pretty evenly with a curveball and a slider and a changeup. But when I saw those numbers, I knew the finger had to have been bothering him, and you just couldn't get 5 innings. And Bob Melvin was trying to get him through 5 innings to get a win. That would have been nice for it. He just didn't have enough with the finger problem and getting people out.
Exactly. And I today when I heard the news about Randy Rodriguez is going to have Tommy John surgery, I felt bad. I feel awful.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is just so tough for him, especially the year he was having, and then gets the closer's role. And a lot of that is off the elbow. And when I look at how he throws and how hard he throws the slider and then how hard he throws the 2-seamer, that's where the pressure comes, right off the elbow. So something happened in that ligament, and that's what's going to happen. They'll have to repair the ligament. He's out for a full year. Yeah.
And then do we see somebody replacing Randy Rodriguez right now, or is this too early to call right now?
Well, you got Peguera now. The guy they brought up, Peguera throwing 100 miles an hour, too. He's been throwing real well for him. And that's another name that we're not really talking much about. He was one of the hardest throwers. He got the Harry Jordan Award in spring training. A lot of people liked him coming up here. And he has just done everything you wanted, Joel Peguera. He throws 100, 101, got a wipeout slider. He's moved up in the chain in the bullpen. You're starting to see some other players, other pitchers down there stepping up. Jose Budo's now in there in the 7th, 8th inning. Luke Casey's down there. And Ryan Walker right now, people are going, Ryan Walker, well, he's got a .72 earned run average since June 1st. So he has been pitching fantastic. Changed a couple things in his motion, and he's been dialed in, and I think that's really a key for Ryan Walker.
You're absolutely right, Bill. Bill, I appreciate the call, and tomorrow they need to be another lefty. That's the key of the game.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I'll be watching it too, and you and I will both be crossing our fingers to see if they can come up with some magic against a left-hander. And tomorrow will be a battle, and let's see if they can win 7 in a row. But thanks for the call, John. Appreciate it on a Friday night. Let's go up to Portland and talk to my buddy Greg. Greg, you come down to the Bay Area, and the Chicago Cubs come to town. And what do? You bring the magic to the Giants, and the Giants win 3 straight games. And boy, you got the magic from Portland.
Okay, can you hear my voice?
Whoa, well, you've been cheering a little bit down here, huh?
Yeah, absolutely hoarse, because I like to rag on the Cubs anyway. I will, we all remember 2016. And on top of that, they wore their classy gray, blue, and red, and I say they look just like the Dodgers. Okay, but I lost my voice because Justin Turner. I ragged on him.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I got you. He was playing first base for the Cubs. All right. I was wondering, I was saying to myself, he didn't do anything.
No, for once, instead of him being clutch and beating the Giants, he had bad luck. Remember the ball that hit off Chapman's head?
Yeah.
I'm right down there. I'm right
watching
on.
that.
Yeah, I was on the third base line. Look, I was like 121, so I could see it. Oh, it was so sweet. So
strange
anyhow,
crazy play. I'm just so happy that Chapman didn't get a concussion or something crazy off of it. He never saw it.
And then if you watched TV later, it was just one of those fluky, goofy things that happen in baseball.
It's baseball, yeah.
And then, of course,
what do you think it's a night's game here, big boy, Greg? The Giants exploded.
I don't do Apple, so it was like old times. I did the radio.
That's good.
But
it was an exciting game. The hitters just did everything, and Luis Matos is that guy you and I have been talking about for years, getting that opportunity. Last year he got hot, National League Player of the Week, and keep him right where he is in that lineup, hitting seventh. Disguise him as much as you can, and let him come up and do what he does.
Okay, with first off the rally walk-off with Jung Hoo yesterday afternoon was just it was just great baseball. Flores, and they set it was so sweet, great. Now,
3 hits in a row, that was key, so key in that game.
Yeah, it was like
and it was fun.
It was
it
like
was a fun
winning.
game. It was a fun finish.
Oh my God, it was so damn good. But back to Matos. I'm happy for the kid. He can hit, but I'm Debbie Downer here. He's got to show me he can play outfield, which he has not done.
So far, I think the inconsistencies, the cutting the balls off and getting to him, he's got more speed, and I would like to see him, come in a little quicker on some balls, and maybe the ball's over his head. He had one go over his head in right field. He didn't go far enough back, and it ended up hitting the bottom of the base of the wall. But he's still playing well. I mean, he's still an above-average outfielder. Just need to play a little bit more. What I just don't like when the one-handed catches on the side, I don't like that. I'd rather you put both hands on that ball and that glove and catch it the correct way. But you know what? It's style points. It's big leagues. He'll do it whoever he wants unless he fails. And then he'll stop doing it. But let's hope
it's incumbent upon
he
Melvin
cleans that up.
and the staff, Bill, to teach this young player how to play better. And conversely, and then I'll get off the phone. I can't talk anyway. I like Gilbert, and he's a
little gamer, isn't he? Boy, he's like a little gamer.
Oh, he's going to develop. You watch him, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know what, just staying up here and learning the big leagues, that's a big part of him. He's only 24 years old, a young kid, just, bouncing around a couple organizations, and he never had a chance to play in the big leagues until the Giants brought him up. And you know what, he's fitting in this clubhouse, he's fitting in as a rookie, and those are all choice words because you want rookies to understand the game and learn the game, and I think he's just like that, listening to and trying to understand it. And Greg, it's good to see him. It's good to see Matos. It's good to see Schmidt, the younger generation learning the game and producing. And I think that's the key that we want to continue to watch.
Well, Bill, I had an absolute, and I hope the fans are listening. The Giants community and fans are broad. And back in the olden days, up here, that's who we rooted for. That's why I remember they came out when I was a little leaguer, and I'm a fan, and it was just such a great. You've got such a great park, best park in the San Francisco. You guys are great.
You got some good weather while you were here too, Greg. It wasn't too cold for you. I was real happy for you when
the weather was perfect.
It was great.
I'm back here in Portland, sweating. Hot, and it's going to get hotter.
Well,
next
listen,
week.
you get some tea in that voice, all right? Get some nice warm tea, and and cheer with your hands and not with your voice.
Okay, Bill.
Well,
Go
thanks
Giants.
for calling in on a Friday, Greg. You take care of yourself. I'm glad you came down to watch some good baseball. I appreciate you calling in. Let's go to Mark. He's in San Francisco. Mark, a great game by the Giants. 6 in a row. They need to continue.
Yes, they do. And tomorrow we're going to have one of our young pitchers come up and get an opportunity, Carson Seymour. Hopefully he can pitch a good game and get in this rotation.
Yeah, they need another arm in a rotation. He's got this stuff. The home run ball has always been chasing him. That's the only thing that I see that's failing him, but he's still throwing the ball solid. He's got good stuff, and he's just got to go out there and not worry how many innings, how many outs. I think if he can go out there thinking 3 outs every time he walks out there, instead of going, I got to go 3, 4, or 5 innings, go 3 outs at a time, take inning to inning, and let your defense play for you. I think that's a solid key for young pitchers, especially going out on a 6-game winning streak. You don't have to be the star. You just got to get outs.
Yes, you do. And then we have Carson Wisenhunt, who's in the rotation right now, and I'm just hoping that these two guys can develop and give us some good innings because
I agree.
we want to build this pitching staff for the future. And if we can get these two young guys going, that bodes well for us, making a run at either this year or next year at a World Series.
The biggest thing, Mark, is getting out there and competing against some of these teams, getting your feet wet in major leagues, who cares if it's the Baltimore Orioles? They're trying to beat you in 27 outs. So get out there and bust your tail. Carson Wisenhunt, he'll be pitching in Colorado, so he's going to have to pitch well there, and that's going to be a test for him. So these are all matchups that they have to look at, ballparks, different teams, and we'll see. These are big games for these kids, and they're going to have to mount an attack, and hopefully they will come out ahead.
Something came up to me from a friend of mine who alerted me to the fact that since Buster Posey made the trades and his first draft, the Giants farm system has gone up like 10 spots. It's improved that much in just 1 year that Buster Posey's been our general manager.
Yeah, I had Kyle Haynes on this week on one of the Sports Phone KNBR shows, and he said in each division right now, Richmond was at 500 in the second half, and if they can win, 10 out of the next 20 games or whatever it was, every team will get into the playoffs, and he was really proud of that. If Richmond doesn't, that means all the other teams get into the playoffs already. San Jose, Eugene, Sacramento, they're all in the playoffs. That's a big thing. Let me tell you, when you go to the minor leagues and you see each level getting into the playoffs at the end of the year, that's an accomplishment. And that's not with Buster Posey, not only him. That's with the minor league coaches, Kyle Haynes, Randy Wynn, and the coaching staffs. They have been busting their tail. A lot of players moving up and down throughout the season, trying to fit them in that clubhouse, trying to fit them on those fields. I think that's a big positive for the Giants minor leagues.
It is. And, this Giant organization at one point was the best organization as far as bringing up players ever. When they had Mays, McCovey, Cepeda, Alou, I saw them all come up. We had the best farm system in baseball, and I'd love to see that happen again.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while. We know that, Mark. It's just a turnover, and more players will come in. The draft was outstanding, and you saw a couple of players, the first and second pick, are now playing in San Jose already. So, and then you see Drew Gilbert, you see Bucco. Those guys already came in from the Mets for the Tyler Rogers deal. Rodriguez is hitting the hell out of the ball in AAA. He came over in the Duvall trade. So there is some key parts in this that Buster traded with some key players that are now helping the Giants. And I think those are the trades you got to look at for the future, not just now, the future. And all these kids are young. Bucco's only in the second year in the big leagues, and he's probably your 7th, 8th guy set up already. He's already moved in that spot. So these are all positive points. You start thinking all these people piling these calls on so negative, but you got to let some people breathe. You got to let them play, and that's what I love about win streaks. It changes that dynamics in that clubhouse, and it gives them motivation. Willie Adamas on Apple TV said we have more of a core now that we are now thinking we are going to win, where before the question mark was how are we going to win? Now it's we are going to win. And I love that because that's a theory in your mind that you go in there and nobody can beat you. And if they can continue to do that from 1 through 9 like they did today, it's going to be fun baseball as we continue in August and into September. But, Mark, thanks for the call. It's always great catching up with you. You always have good comments. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Got a few calls on hold. I'm Bill Lasky. This is Sports Phone KNBR on a Friday. More coming up right here on the Sports Leader.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
1-1 pitch. There's a high drive to right field. Way back there. Still going. That one is wet. Hello, San Francisco Bay. Dom Smith launches one into the bay. And now it is 9-4 Giants.
Back on KNBR on a Friday with Bill Lasky. 107. That's what John Miller forgot to say. 107 splash hits.
Hello, San Francisco Bay.
Thank you very much, Kyle. But it was good. It was nice. It was a home run, and the Giants scored every inning except the sixth, and they still had opportunities with first and second, but they couldn't get a run scored. But who cares? They scored 15. 15 runs on 18 hits. 2 home runs, one by Smith and one by Matos, and the Giants prevail. And now they've won 6 in a row with a 4-15 start tomorrow. Trevor Rogers, the hot lefty for Baltimore, is pitching. He's 7-2 with a 1.4. Carson Seymour is going to get a start. He's 0-1 with a 3.7, but he's been in 10 games. He's pitched 21 2/3 innings. The only problem he's had is giving up 6 home runs. Try to keep that ball in the ballpark. 16 strikeouts in 21 1/3 innings. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be on Fox Sports for the game of the week, and then the extra inning post-game show. I'll be handling that right after on KNBR. Let's get to the phone lines. Let's go to Alex in South San Francisco. Alex, you're on a Friday KNBR Sports Phone Show. Good game today. What'd you think?
Yeah, what a great week to be a Giants fan. You know, like, although we lost to the Brewers like last Friday, but it was still a great game. Just one pitch, decided that game. But yeah, it was an awesome game today. Like, I was at home.
Did you get to go?
But, you know,
Alex, did you watch it, or did you watch it? You watch it on Apple TV? Is that what you ended up doing?
I watched it on Apple TV. But yeah, it was such an exciting game. Like, I was in it throughout, just watching it, and just into it. And then I also wanted to talk about,
that first inning just caught your attention, didn't it, Alex? With a walk, a base hit, a fly ball, base hit. I was like, here we go, right? 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks. That's the way you start a game in the bottom of the first.
Actually, especially this week, I think the Giants in general, throughout the whole season, we kind of lost sight of the fundamentals, like you said, but, you know, like great hitting, great situational hitting from these Giants players. Like,
today.
We got back to
17 with 8 for 17 with runners in scoring position, a couple home run balls. I really thought this to keep the line running right down the line. I keep bringing that up, the old Bruce Bochy line, keep the line moving. Each guy picked each other up, and the next thing you know, you look at the box score, everybody in the lineup got a hit, and that's pretty cool.
And it was good to see, like, Patrick Daly get a hit, too, because he was hitting the ball hard today. But, like, you know, it wasn't falling. But, you know, he got pretty good at bats, even though, like, a lot of them didn't, you know, drop. But he was hitting the ball well today.
Alex, how do you like Drew Gilbert,
Drew
the young
Gilbert,
kid that came over from the Mets?
It was unfortunate to kind of see Tyler Rogers in that trade. But, you know, to get, like, a prospect like Drew Gilbert, it's, like, good to see that our farm system is getting up there and making some noise. So I think I really like the trade that we made for Drew Gilbert.
Buco's been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buco got traded over, and the other one, he's got a hurt shoulder. Blade Tidwell, he's hurt, but he's still throwing the ball well. He was 98, 99. Nothing major, just a little soreness. But 3 players they got for Tyler Rogers. So I thought that was a pretty damn good trade. Especially when Tyler's going to be
and then also
agent.
Like, of course, and then like, even though we had to let these guys go, like not Luis Mata, sorry, Camilo Duvall, Tyler Rogers, Mike Yastrzemski, but like maybe in the near future, maybe the next season or 2, we might get them back. But like, at least we got, you know, players like Drew Gilbert out of it, and then see that farm system grow, like I said.
I agree, and I think we're seeing a new player. Luis Matos got a lot more confidence. A 23-year-old just hitting the ball really well, 13 for 30 in his last 8 games. Something we saw a little bit last year, but right now he's got the confidence flowing.
And I'd like to go back to what a lot of these people on the radio or the broadcast said, like, yeah, we may not be able to make the playoffs regardless of the wild card, but you know what? It would be like a sight to see, kind of like to kind of shake up the playoff picture. Like, you know, we got a lot of marquee matchups with the Dodgers still coming up in the future, but you know, it would be nice.
6 against Arizona, 7 against the Dodgers, Alex, and I think with the momentum of going through Baltimore, going to Colorado, going to St. Louis. St. Louis is playing good baseball at home, but the momentum is what you want. You got to build within that clubhouse, and I think that's what they're doing right now. They want to win, and they got the will to win. But, Alex, we'll find out. Tomorrow's another game, 4:15. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Let's go to Rick in San Jose. Rick, you're on with Bill Lasky on KNBR. Another win. Giants have won 6 in a row. What have you thought?
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill.
Sure.
Hey, I just wanted to throw a couple of quiet stats at you and ask if you agreed with me. Offensively, they've been real aggressive at first pitch, and when they're ahead in the count, they're getting more pitchers out of the pitcher, which is something they were lacking for a while here. So that is a plus.
I agree. I agree with you right there. I think the aggressiveness is helping. They're not chasing out of the zone as much either, and I think that's a big, big plus, especially with the young players.
Yes, I agree. And then secondly, their base running has really improved.
Yes, good point right there. I'll put my hand up on that one, Rick. That's a great point. What about Willie Adames today? How about that heads-up play?
Yeah. Much better than the past. And then third,
and also scoring from second base. Matt Williams got that arm moving, and they're busting tail around third base. Luis Matos, that slide at home plate. I thought the umpire was in the way. The catcher got out of the way. The umpire was standing there, and I was like, "Please don't hurt your leg. Please don't hurt your knee." A funky slide, but he got in there and he limped off a little bit, but he kicked back in. But I really thought the umpire got in hell out of the way. Get out of the way, ump.
yeah. And then fourth, knocking runners in scoring position is way up there now. That's something we were lacking for a while, Bill.
Oh, my goodness. How many calls did I get about that one, Rick? Rick, I've got hundreds of calls about that all summer. It was just terrible hitting with runners in scoring position and all the strikeouts during it. Now they're putting the ball in play. Now they're chasing the pitchers out. And today was excellent, 8 for 17. Well, when you get 18 hits, you're going to get a lot of hits with runners in scoring position.
I agree, totally agree. And then last of all, we finally getting some break. We got some luck on our side. Some bloops are falling in. We haven't had any of that in a while, Bill, you know?
Yeah. I'll raise my hand on that one too. You're absolutely right. And you got to get some bloops in there. You got to get some balls hitting the bag. And the other thing too, Rick, I'm going to add one more point to you is the defense. I think the defense is playing a lot better. Willie Adames and Schmidt up the middle have really made a nice combination, some great double plays. Dominic Smith at first baseman, stellar, and even Rafael Devers has been playing third base, but it all starts with Matt Chapman playing third base. He's the captain of that infield.
Yeah, it pretty much seems that way, Bill. When he's in there and he's healthy, he's feeling good, they're a different team.
I believe so, and Willie Adames says he's the captain of that team, and I really believe so. He's the foundation, and they thrive off of him. And when he was out, it was tough to watch Schmidt play, Koss play. They're still good, but they're not that above average. They don't have all those gold gloves on their mantle like Matt does. And he made a couple real nice plays today that looked so easy. The ball that was off the edge going down the line he picked up. Didn't even have full grip of the ball, and he still made a perfect throw to Smith. Some of those plays, you just remember them, and he's the guy that's done them for so many years, and it's so comfortable for him to make the throw off balance.
Yeah, agreed, Bill. And then last of all, I just wanted to ask you, Walker Buehler is available right now. He might not be a bad fit. He could pretty much kiss anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be a good mix in what you have. I'll question that one. If he was that good, Boston wouldn't have let him go, and he was struggling. He had struggles as a starter. He didn't really want to throw out of the bullpen. That's a name that you may want to bring into spring training to see if there's any life left. But right now, I think the mix is what they have, and they're going to go with it, and they're trying to figure out the slots in that bullpen. And I think they're trying to figure out who fits where, and they're getting a feel of it. And I think that was the big grasp they had to do when they took Tyler Rogers and Camilo out there. Now you got Randy Rodriguez out of there, so these guys are going to have to pick each other up. And so far, so good. I really think that Bob and J.P. Martinez has put that bullpen in certain situations, middle innings, long innings, and now Ryan Walker is on Cates. I think Ryan Walker has been outstanding here for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, he's pitching much better, yeah. And then,
Well, Rick, thank you, man. You had a nice list of thoughts there, and everyone I'll put my hand up on. Great stuff right there, Rick. Appreciate the call, and keep them coming, buddy. That was a good conversation. Thanks again.
Good Giants.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go to Mike in San Francisco. Mike, you're on a late night Friday. How are you? Good game tonight. Giants on a 6-game roller. Can they do 7 tomorrow? That's going to be my question for you, Mike.
I'm fine. Thanks, Bill. As far as on the roll we're on, I just think, coming from my father, they're playing for each other. And the way I feel about that is, like, we're talking locally, you got Thomas, and he's starting to take over the dugout, and you're starting to see that, if you're looking at it, and
more
the play on the field
contributions
is
too.
great.
I think that's the other one, Mike. Don't you think more contributions to the lineup? Ramos didn't even play today, and you got Matos in the outfield. You had Drew Gilbert in the outfield. Of course, Jung-Hoo Lee, who's on a tear. He's got a hit in 23 out of 25 games, 30 for 97 in those games. He's been very, very good in the outfield. I think his defense has gotten better.
Jung-Hoo Lee, unquestionably. Ramos definitely always picks up the bat with whatever defensive errors he's making out there. Matos is coming into his own on his own. And
good things.
Yeah,
good
I'll leave
things
it at
all
that.
there, Mike. Mike, all of it's fallen in place, and now they just have to play consistent baseball. You're not going to keep looking at the scoreboard. There's just so many games you're making up, and you got to take over the Reds. You got to take over the Mets, and somebody's got to fall. One of these top teams from the Cubs, the Padres, and the Mets have to fall. And all you can do is do what you do. You go out there for 27 outs, and hopefully at the end of the day you get a win, and you march into the next game. I said this last night, and I'll say it again. Don't worry about the standings. Don't look at the wild card. Win your game. You keep winning your games, good things will come at the end.
I think we've got a good weekend in front of us. Thanks,
I
Bill.
hope so. Tomorrow's going to be a big game, Mike. Tomorrow, Trevor Rogers is all that. He has just been lights out. When you're looking at 76 punch-outs in 8 1/3 innings, 83 1/3 innings, with only giving up 50 hits, 7-2 with a 1.4, he is all that. It's going to be a battle, and Carson Seymour's just got to hold his own. But, Mike, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I'll be on the weekend as well as Labor Day. Give me a holler later on, and we'll talk more baseball. But thanks again for calling, Mike. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back with a close on Sports Phone KNBR on a Friday. I'm Bill Lasky. This is the sports leader as the Giants win today 15-8, a 6-game winning streak. More coming up next.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
Scored the 7th run later in that inning. Now he belts one high and deep, left center field, way back there. Adios, pelota! A shot deep into the bleachers in left center field for Matos. 10-6 Giants.
All right, back on Sports Phone KNBR with Bill Lasky as we finish out our Friday show. And Giants did a great job at Oracle tonight on Orange Friday, winning 15-8 against the Baltimore Orioles. The Giants now are 67 wins and 68 losses. Tomorrow, 4:15, it's going to be on Fox Sports, not NBC Bay Area, but you can also hear it right here on KNBR. Carson Seymour is going to get his first start of the 2025 season. He's 0-1 with a 3.74 earned run average. He's pitched in 10 games, 21 in the third innings, 21 hits, 9 earned runs, 6 home runs, though. Keep the ball in the park tomorrow, Carson. 16 strikeouts, 9 walks going against Trevor Rogers, 27-year-old lefty. 7-2 with a 1.4 earned run average. And here's some numbers for you. His last outing against Houston, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Boston, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Seattle, 7 innings, 1 earned run. I'm not lying to you. 21 innings, only giving up 3 earned runs. And this is what they're going up against. A guy that throws pretty hard, got a great breaking ball. So we'll see if the Giants can fight this off. They're 15-23 against left-handers. It will be a battle, but the Giants are on a 6-game winning streak. Today, the hitters really hit well. Willie Adames going 4 for 6 with an RBI. Rafael Devers 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Dominic Smith putting one in splash landing. It was awesome. His first one, 107 splash home runs as Dominic Smith goes 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. But the main man today was Luis Matos. He went 4 for 5 tonight with a home run, 3 RBIs, and in his last 8 games, 13 for 20, 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and 7 RBIs. The 23-year-old's getting an opportunity, and he is shining as well as you could be. On the pitching side, Robbie Ray had a cut or a blister that really hammered him today. Just didn't throw the ball as well as we've seen him. He only went 4 in the third innings, giving up 6 earned runs. A real tough outing for him. And when you dissect what he did, 94 pitches, 64 for fastballs, and that just tells me as an ex-pitcher, he had a hard time gripping the ball off the seam. So a tough game for him when the Giants scored so many runs, and of course we remember so many games that he pitched well, and this is a tough spot for him. But the Giants still playing very well. Good baseball, like I said, 6 wins in a row. They've hit 24 home runs in 12 games. They're now 34 and 33 at Oracle. So we'll find out tomorrow, 4:15 first pitch. Extra inning post-game show will follow. Got a couple great interviews tomorrow. I sat down with Tristan Beck earlier this week. Had a nice one-on-one with him about his yo-yo of going to Sacramento, coming back to San Francisco, and now he's pitching so well out of the bullpen. So a nice conversation with him. And then Ben McDonald, he's doing TV and radio as a color commentator for the Baltimore Orioles. Had a great career with the Baltimore Orioles, coming out of LSU as a #1 pick. So 2 good interviews with some pitching tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Steve Stone, a pitcher that I knew back in the day. We both went to Kent State University, not at the same time, but I got to know him a little bit after. And then after that, it's going to be Rick Dempsey. So all coming up this weekend. For Bill Lasky, have a great rest of the Friday. Giants win 15-8. More coming up right here on KNBR, the Sports Leader.